Hell, why not? Let's try that. I really don't know how I sound or everything, so I don't know if I sound okay. Yeah. All right. I can totally see you now. All right. Stream held. Okay. Minor issues. Okay. Cool. Top chat. Not now. Just live chat. Just see me in the live chat. Let me see the live chat. Okay. So welcome to this random thing right there. I'm switching to English for those who weren't subscribed to my channel. You're more used to some French content, but for the sake of this stream, I think I'm gonna switch to English now. I'm gonna be editing some pictures. I've been wanting to try this for a while now, just to see if it can interest some people. So yeah, and I think it's a good way for me to practice my English as well. So cool. Let's first start by taking a look at some pictures I took. We're in Lightroom. Um, this is what I use for most of my editing process. I'm not very good with Photoshop. Still, um, kind of learning here and there, but I'm not a huge fan. I prefer to just tweak. Wow, just to tweak a few things in Lightroom first. So I'm trying to think which pictures can I show. Um, so I'm gonna mainly focus to we're gonna mainly focus on pictures with which don't have many peoples in them. Just because, well, because I didn't ask them if they were okay to be on a stream. So just for the sake of privacy, I think we're gonna keep it only with some basic architecture and other kind of subjects. So we've been walking around in the city, and I tried to do some of these kinds of pictures. Now it's not really my day-to-day shoot. I'm more of a portrait guy. I do also some events on the side as well. Well, that's mainly what I do actually. Um, well, professionally speaking. This one is kind of sharp. I'm just wondering where are my settings. So okay, f 6.3, so that's why ISO 400. Now I'm gonna go and start with this one because I remember really liking this shot when I first got it. Um, so first edit we're gonna try to straight it a little bit. So what I want is this to be straight. Yes, exactly like this. Then we're gonna crop a little. So the camera I've been using for, wow, nearly a month already is the new Canon EOS R. Well, it's not that new now. We're in 2019, but as you can see here, I have a bit of an issue. I don't know if it's because of the lens. So I'm gonna just pop in the correction profile. No, that doesn't seem to be the case. I think it's when you're using the silent shooting mode with the Canon USR, you have some weird sort of I can find the right word to express that. Well, the lines aren't as straight as they were basically. Okay. So I think that's it for the composition. I think it's pretty straight and now. So we're gonna go and tweak on some of these colors. So first of all, I think it's a little too bright. So I'm just gonna bump a bit of the contrast. I always start with 10 because I really don't want to put too much contrast too. So I'm gonna start with 10 and we're gonna go with 20. Now 20 is a bit better. What I enjoy as well were these lights right there. I think they were pretty cool. Unfortunately, we can't get the full potential of them. So that's gonna be hit for that. Then we're gonna play a little around with the shadows. Now, a good tip if you never use Lightroom is just to go to the extreme to see exactly which part of the image you're modifying when tweaking these settings. So now I'm tweaking the shadows. As you can see, it's really affecting more this and this, which is not exactly what I wanted. I would have preferred if it was just this line of shadow here, but that's not the case. So that's not what I'm gonna tweak right now. Then with the blacks, I think they're a bit washed out here. So I'm gonna go with -10. Let's see how it affects. Well, we can see how it affects the rest of the picture. So as you can see, we got a lot of blacks here too. So we're gonna have to pay close attention when we tweak these. So we're gonna go with -25, just to get moodier image. Yeah. I'm also recording this with the Canon USR. I have a really weird setup right now because I don't have a HDMI sort of recorder right now. So I'm actually recording the live view shooting mode that you can have with the Canon EOS utility. Like for an example, if I show you this, see, you can see the face tracking and the eye tracking doing its work right now. So I'm just in live view. I'm not even recording or anything. Did the cam stop right there? Hang on. It's not a perfect setup, obviously. Was my face not moving at all the whole time? I don't think it was the case, but I don't know why it stopped for a second there. That was weird. If I do this, does it keep on? Yeah, okay. That's weird, man. Don't know why I did that for a sec. Well, let's go on with the picture. So these were green, kind of a really dark green overtone, with some blue tones as well. And this was a bit more beige. So we're gonna try and tweak that a little. So let's go with some temp correction. Now if you go to the extreme, you see exactly what I'm talking about. It's not really what we want right now. With Lightroom, you also have a before and after, so you can take a look at the picture before and after. So you see we have a bit more contrast on this one, but that's pretty much it right now. I'm just like cycling through all the kind of modes we have there. Okay, so I want it a little warmer, not too much, just a little warmer. So we're gonna settle down for 7200. Okay. So if we compare these two, I think it's more through to the color of the building. Now I don't think it's with the temperature that we're actually gonna do this change. Oh, wow. So I just tried the auto white balance feature, and as you can see, it tweaked it really more on the yellow side of things. So that's not really what we want for now. I think I'm actually gonna go back a little. I don't know if it really makes a big difference on stream because obviously these are really tiny tweak that we're doing, when we're photo editing. But that's why I'm putting the two of them side by side, so it's a little easier to see the before and after for you guys. Okay, and then he takes it out right away. Whatever. So I'm gonna bump up a little bit of the whites just to give a bit more of a punch to these windows right there. So if we blow it out, obviously that's what it's gonna look like. So that's not what we want. But I think, nah, I changed my mind. 30 would be pretty good. Now you can also follow the Instagram. But I'm not a professional photographer. I'm just sort of a dude who learn here and there to do photography. So this kind of more technical stuff, I'm not as good as some other photographers. So Instagrams, I might not use it as well as some other photographer, but meh, just don't feel the need to really. I did more of my pictures on the just about the feeling of the picture and then anything else. So if you're using Lightroom and you hold down the Alt key on a PC while sliding, like while tweaking some settings, you can actually see some peaking in the image. So these are some highlight peakings right there. Obviously because they're a source of light, but yeah, it's just a good idea to do so, just to see where your zone might need individual tweaking, because these are the general settings. After that, we're gonna do some more intricate edits with the brush tool or other adjustment filters. Okay, so I'm gonna give a little more vibrance to our picture and a little bit more saturation as well, just to get a little bit more of these. But eventually what I'm gonna do is just gonna hop on in here in the color tab and tweak individual colors. But just as a reminder, we're just doing the general feeling of the picture right now. So as you can see in the before and after tab, we already got pretty much our color way less washed out than they were before. Now, this picture is already pretty sharp, but if we go to form 1, as you can see, I can't remember where I focused on that. Did I focus in the middle? I don't remember where I focused with this picture. Took it about a week ago. So we're gonna go ahead and tweak a bit of our masking right here. I'm holding down the Alt key so we see exactly which area of the masking is affected. So yeah, we kind of want to have a lot of details in this one, so I think it's gonna be good with that. I'm gonna put a bit more of sharpening right there, and we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of clarity to the picture as well, which is going to get the picture even a little sharper. Here you go. So here you have the before and after. I'll go back to a 1:1 ratio. So as you can see, the colors are way better now, and yeah, it's a little sharper. So let's keep going with these edits, shall we? Now, for this bottom layer, I would want a little bit more shadows. So what we're gonna do, oops, not this one, but this one right here, we're gonna go ahead and put on a mask with the brush tool right here. So we're just gonna follow around our line of shadow right there. If you press O, you can see the zone you're actually affecting by brushing that way. So the general idea is not to be too precise. Since it's just shadows, we just want to have the general area while not peaking in some areas that shouldn't be affected by that. So that's why I'm gonna tweak it real fast right here. Here you go. Now the red part here is only because of the mask. It's just so I see which area I'm actually affecting with this. Oh, you know what? Yes, a bit more, a bit more. I think I see a little red here. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done that properly. Okay, the rest seems to be okay. Except here. Okay. There you go. Let's continue in that. Takes a bit more time, but you get so much better results. Um, just remember as well when you're editing pictures that you don't necessarily want to spend too much time as well, because if you're like an hour in on a picture, it's probably because you're editing way more than you should. So now we're gonna darken a little bit the shadows here. So as you can see, that's pretty extreme. That's not exactly the look I'm looking for, but only this area right here is affected now. So we're gonna get it down just a little. Just a little. So about there should be fine. Yeah, it's okay with me. Now, looking far away from these, I think the white here a little bit blown out. So we're gonna go back to our general settings and maybe get our highlights a little bit darker. Now, not this, but it was at minus 30. We're gonna go for minus 40. I like tweaking with the the sliders, as well as just by inputting some values as well. I think it's sometimes it's a better way to do it. So now this pictures was taken with sort of a weird angle. I wish it was just. I wish I could have just hopped on a higher place and taken facing the window, but I was facing from the ground, so it was higher up, and it has sort of this weird angle that I'm not not a huge fan of. So yeah, I don't really know what to do with that. At least in Lightroom, I don't think I can change it like that. Might be something we can look at in Photoshop afterwards. Um, okay, so this picture isn't very noisy, even if we zoom in at 400 at 4:1 ratio. It's not that noisy. I mean, we could put a little bit of noise reduction, but I wouldn't worry too much, especially with this kind of picture where the focus isn't really on the skin of a person or something like this. So I think that's pretty good there. All right. Now, I like to put some vignetting in my pictures. Some people don't, but that's usually what I do. Like if we go here, I'm just gonna show you some pictures I did for an event. Since these are public, I don't feel as bad showing it to you. Let's take a day. Which day can I take? Like, as an example, well, these three right here were taken with my older camera and in really low light situations. Pretty much all of these actually. Huh. Let me back up for a sec. Yeah. So let's say for an example, this picture here, I had just a little bit of a vignette, especially in the corner right here, just to have the desired effect of darkening the corners. Did that with this one too. Like you can see it right here, a little bit, and right here as well. So yeah. You can see it very well with this one actually, because the background was so bright. Was a so you can see it right on this corner, and this corner as well. So yeah, that's just an effect that I really enjoy putting in my pictures. So we're gonna do that as well in this one. So if we put it to the extreme, obviously you have this, and if you put it on the extreme in the other way, on the brighter side, that's what you end up with. But I don't want it to be too much, so I'm actually just gonna put it to like -10, just so we get a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. Now that we did that, I'm gonna tweak this a little bit. Back off on the highlights. I'm gonna go with -25. And the contrast as well is going to go down to -15. Alright, sorry about that. So that's it. These are really subtle edits that just adds a pop to the picture. I'm not looking to change drastically the pictures that I'm editing. I'm just looking to give them a bit of love. Some of the colors can be quite wash out, especially in a bright day like this one right here. So just to give them a little bit more contrast and yeah, make the pictures a little bit more interesting for the eye. So yeah, that's gonna be it with this one. Now let's go take a look at another one. Do we have some great this one? Yeah, this one. Okay. Yeah, why not? Let's do this one. So I live in Canada, obviously. All right. So let's take a look at the full image right now. So this sky right here is really washed out as well. It was by the end of the day. The sky wasn't really blue that day. So we're gonna try to sort of stay true to that. We're not gonna try to put too much blue into our sky. Now, let's start with the contrast. I always put 10 first, then I tweak my other settings, and then if I want to put more of that contrast, I add it later. I always start with only 10. So now our shadows right here. So as you can see, we lose a lot of this dude here. Huh. That's not what we want. Since it's a dark statue. Here, we want to keep him a little bit brighter. So what we're gonna do is tweak him later. We're gonna tweak only a few things right here. Like I'm gonna try to expose to darken these shadows here and these shadows there. We're not gonna worry about this guy. I'm gonna tweak him separately from the rest. So let's go down and lower a bit our shadows right here. I think they can be a little more deep. So I'm gonna go with -25 there. Our white right there, you see here we got some highlights peaking. So yeah, as you can see, these highlights right here can be lowered a little bit, just so we uncover a little bit more detail. So I'm gonna go with -25 as well. The sky also will get a bit darker as we edit, especially with the highlights. What were the settings on this one? So f5, it was all shot with my 85mm lens. Kind of a bit vibrance also to the picture. Now the white. Huh. Interesting. So I'm gonna reduce the white quite a lot on this one. I'm gonna go with minus 80 because I know when we're going to tweak other settings like the clarity and the blacks, well, it's gonna darker the white as well, so we might tweak it later as well. Speaking of clarity, let's do that now. I always try to actually start with the sharpening and then after the clarity, since they kind of both affect the sharpness of your image. So yeah, let's go with the clarity now. Now if we put it to 100, as you can see, we got a whole lot more detail, but that's too much. Like you see in the picture that we bumped the clarity to 100. That's not what we want. Usually I stick some more on the low side, like 25. I think we have plenty of detail here. That's just enough so it doesn't bother the eye. Alright. If we darker, if we try playing with our blacks right now, actually gonna darken just a little bit. About minus 10 here. Okay, cool. Put a little bit more saturation in there. Great. As for a color balance, we can try putting it on auto just to see what the software does. As you can see, I'm really not happy with that result. I don't want the picture to be all yellow. I like the fact there is a lot of blue here. We're actually gonna try put in a little bit, just a little bit more blue. That's too much. So I'm gonna go with 5,000 and a yeah, 5,100. It's pretty good. Now we sort of have our general settings done here. We haven't touched the composition yet, but I think this picture kind of need to be changed a little bit. So let's start with the angle. I want this to be straight, which is it is not right now. Oh, that's not what I meant. That's what I meant to use. Actually, we're gonna zoom in. It doesn't allow us to zoom. Huh. Oh, that's sad. Yeah. Alright. Just trying this. Yeah, see, this is better. I think this is better. We're gonna go with that first and see if we're happy with the result. I think it's a little bit better. Yeah. Gonna just give him a little bit more headspace to this guy. Now we have this in the shot here that I don't think is necessary now. So we're gonna edit that out later. Actually, I can show you right away. So on Lightroom, you have the spot removal tool that sort of allows you to do this. But it's not very effective. You're better off using Photoshop for this very specific thing. Still, I'm gonna try doing it here in Lightroom, just so we see what we've done. Nah, it's something we're gonna have to tweak in Photoshop, I think. Just gonna try to grab a bigger area here. Really wants to get this, but I don't want it. Yeah, nah. I'm not happy with these results. We're gonna do that in Photoshop since Photoshop is way It's just better for this kind of edits. All right. So now let's tweak finally our statue here. So just like we did with the last picture, we're just gonna try to highlight him. Now I'm not going in the really precisely. I'm just going to take the general zone in which he's in, and then tweaking with the eraser afterwards. I generally think that it's easier that way than doing it the other way. Just gets you better results. So you have to be patient with that. Oh, if you knew. Before, I knew how to use the mask with the sharpening tool. I would just highlight all of my subjects that way and sharpen them separately, which was just a huge pain to do. Well, for obvious reasons. But, yeah. Here we go. Now, if we zoom in, keep following this path right here. You don't have to be that precise with it. Especially on a bright day like that. Because if we darken or light up the shadows here, the sky basically doesn't have shadows, or have very little shadows, so it won't affect the sky. So yeah, in this particular case, I'm just going in sort of the lazy way. Here you go. Just following the side of Mr. here. There you go. Oh, it's a very relaxing thing to do, actually. I've been enjoying doing this since school is over. It's good to take a break and just concentrate on an image for a while. Oh wow, completely forgot this part. There you go. There you go. So, if you were ever wondering how much time some photographers put in editing pictures, now I'm sort of doing it the quick way, but professional photographers can put a crazy amount of time just editing one picture. So, yeah. Here you go. Don't really want to tweak this one. I hope my mic sounds right now. I've been having some issues with this mic for a while now. When I used to record gameplay on this channel, because this is a gaming channel, believe it or not, when I used to record gameplay here, it would freak me out because my audio interface, which is a Scarlett Focusrite, would just destroy completely my sound, and I would just start sounding like a robot. And there would be no way of me knowing that but stopping the recording and listening to myself. And even sometimes when I listen to myself with Audacity or something like this, it doesn't show in the recording. It just, I don't know. I think it's something with TeamSpeak and this particular audio interface, or I really don't know. It's weird though. Really weird. Huh. By the way, I just started streaming just like that without really tweaking the settings since my last stream, so I don't know. Is the sound good? Is everything alright? I hope so. Okay, so now that we have our area selected, we're gonna brighten up a little bit of the shadows. Try to recover a little bit of our man right here. So I'm gonna go and guess about 35. 35 I think is gonna be good for this one particular. So just so we get back a bit of detail on him. So I'm gonna go with 40 actually. Yeah, 40 I think it's pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hit done on this one. Now if you take a look at the before and after, as you can see, I don't think I went too far. We just have a little bit more detail than in the unedited version of this picture. That's just so we more clearly see everything with what we did with the shadows and everything. So now we're gonna do the same thing but for this building right here. So let me hop back with the brush tool. As I said before, we just wanna get the whole area in bright red, just like that, just like that. Here we go. Now we're gonna get everything that's a bit shadowy. Maybe this, I don't know, maybe this and this. All right, now we go back with our eraser tool. Now I don't want that top here because we have some blue sky in the background. Now people in the chat, if you would like to see me stream a little bit more of this and maybe stream some portrait next time if I get the consent of my clients and friends, I could do that. If you guys are interested in watching that, I might move to another channel though, just because this one I built in French and essentially doing gameplay, video gameplay, so don't think it's appropriate to start a photography channel on this one. But it's sort of a an experiment, this stream, just to see if people are interested in seeing that and if I don't know if I like it or not. So far I think I like it. I think sharing this part of the work is kind of really it's really fun, just so you can put words on what you're doing. Sometimes you have to explain to people why you are editing the pictures, even though they're saying no, the picture is fine, just give it to me that way, I like the picture that way. And people are so used to getting their pictures instantaneously with smartphones and everything, that sometimes it's a bit harder to convince people that waiting for an extra week or so for the pictures to be ready is really worth it. But as you can see, these are some pretty simple edits we're doing for fun. Now I do have some other work for some clients that I have to do, so we're not gonna be streaming for like 8 hours. I'm gonna start with a small stream. I think 1 hour would be just fine. Sort of my break today, taking an hour to work on my own pictures. Well, obviously the other pictures are my pictures as well, but I mean, it's not the same working for some personal projects than working for a client. Now, okay, now that we have our area selected, we can play around with the shadows. All right. So, since we brighten up this guy, I think we should brighten up a little bit of this part of the image as well. So, I'm gonna go ahead and put, let's say 15, just to uncover a little bit of detail. Whoops. Now, is 15 too much? Huh. I really don't know. Before, after. I think we're gonna go with that. As I said before, I'm just going for a natural look. I don't want my edits to be too much like, hey, this guy edited this picture. I want them to be subtle. So I think that's pretty good right now. Cool. So yeah, it takes a lot of time, but not for a lot of editing. Now this red right here isn't very red, sort of washed out. So let's go ahead and play a little around with the colors. Now that's better. Gonna give it a little pop. Here you go. So if we take a look at a before and after on this, as you can see. Yeah, I think I would be happy with that picture actually. We're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of vignetting since I love it so much. We're gonna go with something really subtle, just minus 15. So here you go. You got a before and after right there. So what we really did is we bring a bit more of that blue to the sky. We got more details out of our statue here. Same with this building right here. Yeah, and we brighten up a bit of the shadows on this man right here. All right. What else do we have that I can show you? Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, this is a street performer. Now, all right. Since it's not someone I know, and it was taken in a public place, and I had his consent to take the picture, I think it's okay for me to show you. I asked him if it was okay for me to show it in my portfolio, so I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you. So we have at least one portrait to do here. Now, first thing I'm noticing is the bit of salad that he have in his teeth right here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tweak that right now because, I mean, it shows, man. Oh, that's not the right tool. That's not the right tool. No, that's this one I want. All right, because we see it. Okay, okay. See, boom, done, and it's way better. Just that small edit. Now I can tweak it a little bit further, just so we get better results. But as you can see, it was really easily tweaked out. Whoa. Let's maybe try and chill, my man. Okay, this. If you manually select it as well, you get even better results than just letting the software make the decision. So as you can see, we have better result even than before. Now we see it a little bit here. So yeah, it's really something that you should be tweaking in Photoshop. But hey, I'm not doing that right now. So it's a bit of cheating, really. I would recommend doing this in Photoshop, really. Up, up. There. That's even better, I think. Yeah, that's better than what we had before. Cool. You know what? Happy with this result. I'm gonna settle down with this. It should be fine. Alright. Now that this minor tweak is done, we're just gonna go ahead and crop out this pipe right here because I think it's just distracting in the picture. It's not really telling anyone about the story of this picture. I'm gonna go ahead and narrow it down a little bit so our subject is a bit bigger. Now, if you were going to post this picture on Instagram, you could go with the Instagram crop. Well, the sort of 8:10 or 4:5 aspect ratio. I think that's what we're gonna do actually with this picture here. So as I said before, I'm gonna start with contrast at 10, not more than that, since other settings are going to affect what the contrast is doing. Now we're gonna take a look at the highlights. We don't have a lot of highlights apart from the hair right here, and if we put it at 0, it's already pretty good. I'm gonna just go down to about -20, and we're gonna call it a day for now. Now I'm gonna go do the sharpening and the clarity thing now, just because I feel like it's gonna change quite a lot in this image. Now if I put it to 0, see, it darkens the image. So I'm gonna go just with 10. I think 10 in this picture should be fine, or maybe 15. Can decide. Let's go for 15. Cool. Now, do we have some white? Yes, we have some white hair here, and we have these white knobs. So this is what the auto white balance would have done. Now, I don't like that, so this is not what we're gonna do. We're gonna white balance it here ourselves. So if we go, that's too far. I'm gonna go for something a little warmer. Boom, we want him green. Oh. Plus 21, I think that's pretty right. Yeah, let's settle down for this. Now I'm gonna bump up the vibrance of the color and the saturation as well, just to get a little bit more pop in this picture. Now if we go ahead and tweak the whites, as you can see, this is what it does. I'm not gonna touch it for now. I might raise it a little bit just to get a little bit more brightness in the picture. The shadows as well. So the shadows are there. You can clearly see them. I think I'm gonna darken them a little bit more just so we have them a little bit more defined. Nothing too huge. Again, it's about the subtle little adjustment here. Now what you're seeing here is a bit of a problem with digital cameras. It's called Moire, but I don't think I can fix it, or at least I don't know where to fix it. Oh. So we already have quite a bit of vignetting here. And I'm gonna keep it that way because I like vignetting. I'm heading to some of pictures which doesn't have vignetting, so obviously I'm not gonna touch that. But you could have, like Lightroom have some profiles from specific for some lens to autocorrect most of these imperfections. But I'm not gonna use it there, just because I like the effect of of this vignetting right there. I might even add a little bit more, just so we have a little bit more. Okay, so if we take a look at the two pictures side by side and not in the 4:1 ratio, please. Yes. Okay. So what we did essentially is that we removed the thing that he had in his teeth here. We didn't remove it quite properly because you can see a little bit of bending here. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to tweak that out. Just a little bit by whitening it. Obviously, most people won't notice this because it's such like unless you zoom in on his face like that at a very small ratio. Well, you can't see it because of my face. Hang on. Hang on. Let me get my face somewhere else. Okay. So as you can see it, this isn't the zoom that we're in right now. So it's a really small portion of the image that is actually affected by this. So yeah, I don't think many people are going to notice this. Okay, cool. So is this? Yes, it's in the frame. Okay. Might need to tweak a little bit around my stream as well. So we're nearly at the 1 hour mark. So I think we're just gonna stay on this picture since we don't really have time to go and do another one, except if it's a really quick one. So I'm gonna bump up a little bit more of the contrast here on this one, just because I feel like it. There you go. There you go. Now I think it's a little yellowish. Whoa, went too far. I think 6400. That would be great. Nah, 6300. Alright. That's better. Alright. I could, why not, give his teeth a little widening, but I don't really do that on candid portraits like these. Now we could salvage some detail in the hair right here, but I don't think that would be necessary with this picture. You know what? I think I'm pretty satisfied with this result. There you go. I tried some preset this week as well. Just went online and find some free presets because I love shooting film as well. So we got some Ilford preset here that really does a great job. And I got some other presets here, which are basically your Instagram preset. Just did you know, more professional presets than just the Instagram filter. All right. I don't need this tab open. Prefer to have this. I have to set up collections and albums as well. Start, tweaking my work environment so it's more efficient. All right, so that's about it for this picture as well. What else do we have that we could try out real quick? Yeah, I don't know. Why not? I don't think this picture is really great, but yeah, I might find something else. Oh wow, we have some crazy distortion right here. Okay, oh no, I was just framing it bad. But some of these do have some distortion, which is kind of sad. And that was the word I was looking for at the beginning of the stream. Distortion. Wow. How can you forget that? Now, this is my roommate. This is again my roommate, and I don't think he appreciates being on the stream. Maybe we could go. I like taking pictures of people that are also taking pictures. That's a thing that I do. So I think I'm gonna go. This is my cat. Actually, my parents' cat. But what I might do is go into some of these pictures, because there are some great pictures around these. I think. Ooh. We like some of them. What else do we got? We got this. Would have loved this shot if there weren't a constant flow of people passing by. So smoke the weed. Don't smoke weed if it's not legal in your country, which it is in mine, so it's fine. I don't, but I don't. This one is moody. I like it, and you can't see the dude's face, so you can't really identify the dude. So I think we're gonna do this one, yeah, because this picture is quite cool. Now, would I crop? I don't think I would crop, but I would kind of straight it a little bit, like this. Now it has an angle. It's not what I wanted at all. Maybe with this? Whoa. I keep forgetting to take back the tool. Yeah, it's pretty minor adjustment, as always. Kind of a minor editing guy. Okay, so let's start. Let's do it quick. We have what? Less than 3 minutes left. Okay, let's do it really quick. So let's go with 15 here. No, I'll change my mind. 10. Let's go and take a look at the highlights. The highlights, we want them where they are. I would even give it a little more. Nah, we don't want to recover the shadows because the shadows are part of the moodiness of the pictures. The white. Yeah, let's brighten them up. Whoa. Brighten them up a little bit. All the blacks. Nah, they should stay like they are. It's plenty good enough. The clarity should be to about 15, I think, yeah. Is it too much? Yeah, I think it's too much, actually. Let's go with 10. It's because of the yellow tone. Let's give those yellow tones a little bit. Whoa. Yeah. Just so we get our skin tones a bit more. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate a little bit there. Okay. I think that's good. Okay, that's good. Cool. Alright. We're not gonna be haze. We're gonna put a bit of that. Do we put a bit of that? No. This one is already really saturated. Actually, we're gonna pull that down to -5. Let's do a little bit of sharpening again. There you go. 50. Wow. 3 minutes is really fast, huh? We're gonna get a little bit noise reduction as well. And then we're gonna add a little bit of vignette. Just a little bit. -10. And then boom. We got ourselves a picture that has a bit of storytelling, which I think is pretty cool. With this mysterious dude with no eyes. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So it was a first experience streaming in English first of all. And the first time around doing photo editing live as well. So if you like that, please leave a comment or something like that. If you didn't like as well, if you want to watch more of this or want to see certain kind of pictures, like maybe more portraits, or I don't know, a more architectural stuff, just leave a comment. I always read them. So that's about it. Yeah, it's gonna be it for our first stream session. So hope you liked it. See you soon.